and I am from RBR JC College of Engineering. Recently, I have completed my internship from Bennett University under leading India.ai program. Me, along with my teammates Amal, Naveen, and Jeevan, under the mentorship of Mohit Sajwan sir, worked on a project called Intelligent Deployment Strategies for Heterogeneous Wireless Sensor Networks to increase the lifetime of the network. A network is said to be live when all the nodes in the network is fully functional. If at least one node in the network is dead, we can say that the network is dead, as the operations of the network will be halted. First of all, let us understand the need for heterogeneity. In wireless sensor networks, when we observe, we can see that certain nodes in the network will have maximum workload rather than the other nodes in the network. These nodes will exhaust their energy faster, leading to the network loss, also loss of energy of the other nodes. To avoid these problems, we use genetic algorithm and particle swarm optimization algorithm to increase the lifetime of the network. The applications of these wireless sensor networks can be seen in military applications where the presence of people can be difficult at times. Also to gather environmental data under rivers, oceans and seas. Now my friend Amal will explain you about the methodologies used in this project.
Hi, I'm Amal, and I'll be talking about one of the intelligent algorithms that we use to solve a problem, the genetic algorithm. The genetic algorithm is based on Darwin's theory of evolution, or more importantly, the theory of survival of the fittest. The basic building block of any genetic algorithm is called a chromosome, and a chromosome is a set of variables that could potentially represent a solution to a problem. In our case, a chromosome contains a list of locations to which heterogeneous nodes are to be deployed. The first step in performing genetic algorithm is to create a population. Now each chromosome in a population could be a potential solution to a problem. Next step is to perform parent selection. Parents are selected based on their fitness values, and the parents with best fitness move on to the next generation. Next step is to perform crossover. Crossover is a process in which we share genetic information among parents so that we could generate best candidates or a best solution in the next generation. The last step in performing genetic algorithm is called mutation. Mutation is a process in which we mutate the current chromosome so that it could give a better solution in the next generation. So these three steps, selection, crossover and mutation, they are performed iteratively until a solution is reached. Now Naveen will talk about particle swarm optimization, which is the other intelligent algorithm that we use to solve our problem.
Now that you have a brief idea about genetic algorithm and how it works and how it is mapped onto a problem, let's see how PSO, or in other words, particle swarm optimization works and how it is mapped onto a problem statement. Particle swarm optimization is a population-based stochastic optimization technique which was developed in 1995 and was inspired by social behavior of bird flocking or fish schooling. Hence, it's an evolutionary algorithm. It shares its common grounds with other similar meta-heuristic techniques like genetic algorithm and cognitive optimization and cuckoo search. PSO is very similar to evolutionary computation techniques such as genetic algorithms, so that the system is initialized with a population of random solutions and searches for optima by updating generations. However, unlike GA, PSO has no evolution operators such as crossover and mutation, which depicts that when compared to GA, the advantages of PSO are that PSO is very easy to implement and there are few parameters to adjust. In PSO, the potential solutions called particles fly through the problem space with certain velocity by the following current optimum particles. The velocity and convergence rate are all decided by the factors like inertia weights, acceleration coefficients, which are termed C1 and C2, and global best and local or personal best. The fitness value which are calculated for each individual particles are stored in the vector called P-best. And the global best, which is the global optimal solution for every particle, is stored in global best. Our main objective of our problem statement is to increase the lifetime of the wireless sensor networks by adding heterogeneity. So, let's see how PSO determines the best possible positions in a two-dimensional space. The most optimal position is found by the PSO algorithm, in which, considering our nodes as swarms in the two-dimensional space, we find the optimal position, and if any node is placed at the corresponding coordinates, then it is considered best position for adding the heterogeneous node by taking in the factors like energy consumption. If a node doesn't exist at the coordinate specified, then the nearest node to that node is chosen. It takes n iterations to find the global optimum. For implementing x heterogeneous nodes, it takes x times n iterations to conclude our heterogeneous nodes or the placement of heterogeneous nodes.
Now that the working of PSO and genetic algorithms has been discussed, we'll move on to the results part. We have tested the genetic algorithm and PSO on a 500 by 500 terrain and 1000 by 1000 terrain. 50% improvement in the result was observed in 500 by 500 terrain, and up to 180% increase was observed in a 1000 by 1000 terrain. On a 500 by 500 terrain, both the PSO and genetic algorithm have performed comparably. However, on a 1000 by 1000 terrain, PSO has performed better. Genetic algorithm has been always faster than the PSO algorithm. PSO works better on larger terrains. However, there are limitations to this approach, like increased terrain size increases time complexity, and reducing the randomness of the algorithm can lead to better convergence. This approach can be further improvised by employing different routing algorithms to conserve energy, thereby increasing the lifetime of this network. Since we are using evolutionary algorithms, we may not always find the best solution, but it is guaranteed that there will be a good solution to the problem.